Salam alaikum. Your Excellency, Razan Khalifa Al-Mubarak, delegates, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to share with you some final thoughts on the spirit and direction of the Eye on Earth Summit on behalf of your UNEP, your United Nations Environment Program, and the accent is on the word your. My first thought is about the inspiration we all can take from the Abu Dhabi Global Environmental Data Initiative, AGD, and its efforts to help organize this global community of environmental information producers and users. There is a change in the wind as the locus for initiatives on environmental information systems shifts from traditional centers in Europe and North America to other regions in the world. Now that AGD has increased its own capacity to monitor and assess and inform other national institutions within the UAE, its experience, tools, and successes are now being offered to an even wider community. Just as UNEP has been a partner with the Abu Dhabi Environment Agency for the last 10 years, for example, in conducting integrated environmental assessments, we would like to maintain the relationship as we go forward into the next 10 years. My main message to you, summit participants, is that your UNEP sees as crucial the need to change how we assess and report on the state of the environment. As a top priority, we, all of us, must strengthen national systems and associated networks so that we can share data and information. The assessment process, in turn, can harvest these data to provide a global synthetic picture of what is going on in the various sectors such as water, land, air, etc. But, and perhaps central to UNEP's work, is to show the interlinkages among these sectors. The potential role of the citizen in producing and sharing this information is one of the exciting features highlighted in this summit. This need to change comes from our Governing Council, which has requested its Secretariat to explore the development of a dynamic state of the environment reporting process. As a small UN organization, we recognize that we need to work with an intelligent, innovative, and committed group of environmental information system practitioners, such as you who are in this room. You come from government, civil society, and private sector, yet you all have a common goal. That is, as our global environment degrades, we must respond to the threat. Our skills, experience, and yes, data must be better aligned to provide policymakers the necessary information for action. At present, this initiative from UNEP primarily exists at a conceptual level and is called UNEP Live in the language of the Governing Council request. I would like to sincerely thank AGD for offering Critigen services to UNEP in preparation for this summit as a step in moving the abstract UNEP Live concept into something a bit more concrete. So let's talk about the future. Many of you I have met during the summit have expressed satisfaction and indeed admiration at how AGD was able to capture the moment and inject it with a tantalizing mix of images, messaging, potential for change, and yes, a sense of urgency. Also, many of you I met during the summit have asked about UNEP's commitment to the summit outcome. We are now about to move from a moment to a movement. This summit has brought together the nucleus of the Eye on Earth community referenced in the declaration. We must nurture and grow that community. The declaration also calls upon UNEP and AGD to facilitate and support the Eye on Earth Summit process in the future. That is significant, and we welcome other institutions, such as the European Environment Agency, to collaborate. So let me use this word commitment. Your UNEP is committed to continue to assist you, members of the environment information community, in convening such platforms as the Eye on Earth Summit with the overall goal to answer priority questions for sustainable development. We see ourselves supporting the special initiatives that arise from the summit and hopefully harvesting the data, information, and knowledge generated from these initiatives and feeding them into a UNEP Live reporting framework in order to keep the state of environment under review. This commitment is already captured in our program of work for the next 2 years and beyond. In summary, UNEP would like to thank the hosts for the warm hospitality we have been shown here in Abu Dhabi. To Her Excellency Razan and Catherine Armour, we know that putting on this conference within such a short time frame has been a monumental task, but I think we can look at each other and honestly say that we have succeeded in defining the moment. We commit to work with you to energize the movement and to deliver the information services the world needs. In closing, I would like to share the wisdom of the late Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan, may he rest in peace, who had a vision for the United Arab Emirates to be an environmental leader, a role that will increasingly hinge on how data are processed in the service of sustainable development and social advancement as the world heads towards Rio +20 and the urgency of a green economy beyond. In his words, "We cherish our environment because it is an integral part of our country, our history, and our heritage. On land and in sea, our forefathers lived and survived in this environment. They were able to do so only because they recognized the need to conserve it, to take from it only what they needed to live, and to preserve it for succeeding generations. Ladies and gentlemen, we must work together so that his vision becomes reality." Shukran.